Okay, so for today's explainer, we're going to do things a little differently. We're not just reporting on the news. We are going to reverse engineer the future. And it turns out that future, it pretty much all arrived on one single day, February 20th, 2026. What you're about to see is our strategic breakdown of the seismic events from that 24-hour period, a day that, believe me, changed the trajectory of technology forever.
So on the surface, the big story seemed pretty familiar, right? A new console war kicking off between Sony and Microsoft. That's what was blowing up on social media. But that headline, that wasn't the real story, not even close. While everyone was arguing about gaming, the actual foundational pillars of our digital world were being completely rebuilt right under our noses.
And that's our mission today. We're going to peel back the layers, go behind all the flashy trailers and the fan arguments, and really dissect the moves that actually matter. We're going to look at the silent launches and the hidden lines of code that show what the real battles were about, the future of AI, data, and the economy itself.
All right, so let's start with the main event, the thing everyone was glued to their screens for, Sony's State of Play. And look, this wasn't just a simple showcase of new games. This was Sony planting its flag in the ground, declaring its entire philosophy for the next generation of entertainment. It was a battle of raw power versus AI magic.
And man, what a showcase it was. We got a look at gameplay for a new John Wick game running on the PS5 Pro Max, but the game itself wasn't the story. It was the tech behind it. They called it Dynamic Gun Fu AI. And what that means is no more canned, pre-baked animations. It's a real-time physics engine, so if you play a scene 100 times, an enemy will fall differently every single time. It's all based on dozens of real-world variables. You combine that with flawless 4K 60 ray tracing and the complete elimination of loading times, and you have a pure statement of brute force hardware power.
So here's the bottom line. This new console war isn't just about which box has more teraflops. It is a fundamental clash of philosophies. On one side, you have Sony betting everything on raw silicon. They believe authentic, natively rendered pixels are the only way to create truly believable worlds. And on the other side, you have Microsoft betting on algorithmic magic, using dedicated AI chips to upscale images and create the illusion of detail. It's truly a battle of brute force versus software wizardry. Okay, but while the entire gaming world was distracted by all this, the sleeping giant in Mountain View made a move. And it was a move that completely changed the rules of the game for the entire tech industry. This had nothing to do with gaming. This was about where intelligence itself actually lives.
In a really quiet, almost covert move, Google just dropped Gemini 3.1 Pro. And its secret weapon is a concept that, let me tell you, Silicon Valley is terrified of: cloud independence. It's exactly what it sounds like. The ability for incredibly powerful AI to run locally, right on your device, without ever needing to ping some massive data center.
And this really shows you the massive shift. I mean, think about it. In the past, every simple question you asked in AI had to travel thousands of miles to a server and back again. That's where you get latency, that's where the costs come from, and that's where the privacy concerns pop up. The future that Gemini 3.1 just unlocked? The entire process happens right here, on your phone, instantly. You don't even have to be online. It's a total game changer.
The strategic implications here are just staggering. For starters, Google gets to slash its own cloud cost by a whopping 70%. It drives the price of AI queries down towards zero. It completely solves the data privacy problem because your personal information never leaves your device. And maybe most importantly, it turns your phone from a simple screen into an actual reasoning supercomputer that you can carry in your pocket. This was a direct shot at OpenAI and Apple.
Okay, so we've got a hardware war and an AI war. But under the cover of all that noise, Nintendo, the absolute masters of the long game, unleashed their own secret weapon. And it wasn't a console. It wasn't a chip. It was a Trojan horse, perfectly disguised as a cute, free app.
So what the world saw was Hello Mario, a simple little app that lets you interact with a 3D Mario, and it went absolutely viral. 50 million downloads in under 5 hours. It's insane. But what it really is, and this was discovered when people reverse engineered the code, is an incredibly advanced engine for spatial data harvesting. It's not a game.
Security analysts are calling it this, and for very good reason. The app secretly uses your phone's LiDAR and depth sensors to create a detailed 3D map of your room, your living room, your bedroom, and it sends that geometric data back to Nintendo servers. Now, why would they do that? To build the most detailed spatial map of the world's interiors, paving the way for their next-generation augmented reality console. It's genius, and yeah, it's also a little terrifying.
So you might be asking,
how do all these things connect? A console war, a new AI model, a creepy Mario app. What's the through line? Well, they aren't separate events. They are all moves in a single, colossal economic gamble by big tech to build the infrastructure for a completely new kind of economy.
And here's the price tag for that future: $650 billion. That's the amount of money that Amazon, Google, Meta, and Microsoft have committed to spending on AI infrastructure by the end of 2026. And to put that number into perspective, that is more than the entire economic output of over 160 countries combined. It's a nation-state level of investment.
So where is all that money going? Well, a lot of it is going to advanced chips, of course. But take a look at the energy slice on this chart. Leaked documents are showing that these companies are building their own small, modular nuclear reactors just to power their data centers. I mean, think about that. They're not just software companies anymore. They're becoming self-contained energy providers.
So why this insane gamble? The goal is to build the foundation for this, the agentic machine-to-machine economy. This is a brand new paradigm where autonomous AI agents trade resources like compute power, code, and energy directly with each other. It's all settled with smart contracts. It's a new economy where humanity's role is pretty much just to be an observer.
Now, this vision of a centralized future completely dominated by big tech, it's not without its opposition. There is a powerful counter-movement rising up, a kind of rebellion, you could say, and it's aiming to build a decentralized alternative to this AI monopoly. And it's all being built on crypto. So let's look at the key players here. You've got projects like Render, which is creating a global network of GPUs, letting anyone rent out that power for AI tasks. Then you have Internet Computer, which allows AI models to run on a decentralized network instead of a corporate server. And BitTensor is creating a whole competitive market for AI models to challenge the big guys. They're all building an alternative future, one where computing power isn't just owned by 4 companies.
And this is really the ultimate takeaway. The fight in 2026 is no longer about dollars. It's not about market share in the traditional sense. The new great game is for control over compute as a resource. The scarcest, most valuable commodity in the world right now is raw processing power. Period.
So that was February 20th, 2026, a day that saw a fundamental, irreversible paradigm shift. So the crucial question we have to end on is, what does this all mean for you? Where do you fit in this new world?
Let's just quickly summarize the shift we just saw. We came from an era of the cloud and a human-centric internet. We are now in an era of local, on-device AI and absolutely ruthless data harvesting. And we are heading directly toward an autonomous machine-to-machine economy. This is the new trajectory. There's no turning back.
And this leaves every single one of us with 2 pretty blunt choices. Are you going to be a passive observer, just watching as old careers and old skills get absorbed by these new self-regulating systems? Or are you going to take action, learn the new tools, and become a supervisor, an operator in the command room of this new economy?
Ultimately, it all comes down to this. This future can feel chaotic and overwhelming, but the primary weapon for survival isn't about learning to code every new language. It's about developing a strategic comprehension of this new, entangled system. Because understanding the moves on the board, well, that's the first step to making your own.